Afternoon. I'm back again, and actually really need a toilet break. uh, but I can keep it in, I hope, for the duration of this video. So I was just in Hex Asian's stream on YouTube, and I'm glad I popped in because they mentioned that Reggie Middleton, a what can I say against Reggie Middleton? That is truthful. He basically created an ICO in 2017 called VERITASEUM. He was trying to create a crypto hedge fund. He was later charged by the United States Securities Exchange Commission for running a illegal ICO. Part of the reason why he was taken down and why he later settled for $12 million, which was remunerated with freezing of his assets, which his assets were 98 million Veritasium tokens, which he was using to fund his business, but mainly live the high life of the investors who bought his token. So he was moving tokens around. He was selling them on exchanges. He was basically create something for free. He said he was going to do something, which he didn't. And he was going on road shows and etc., renting fancy office space in Times Square, all very expensive stuff to promote himself, his brand, and his idea that he was doing something magical on the interwebs, on the blockchain. Right? So, again, you can do your own research about Reggie Middleton and his failed ICO and his later charge, conviction, and settlement. Okay. I don't know the latest details in the last year or two, but what I've said is completely factual. Okay. That being said, so I got the link from Hex Asians on YouTube, and I shall pull up the report. Let's read it together, shall we? Let me just take a sip of water. Delicious. Some elderflower, kind of sweetener, basically sugary elderflower flavor. It's not too bad. Better than plain water. That's kind of boring, right? Okay, let's get to the meat of this video. Hex, 22nd April 2021 release. Veritasium, enabling the peer-to-peer economy. Okay, Veritasium, I think, is a root Latin word of the truth. So is Reggie Middleton speaking the truth, a guy who, again, got charged by the S.E.C for running an illegal ICO and moving the tokens, his token supply, his 98 million tokens, to fund his lifestyle. Let's see. Executive summary, valuation overview. Oh, okay. Hex business model. Well, Hex is not a business, so that's wrong. Okay, he goes over how to buy it. Competitive advantage of Hex technology. Okay. Proprietary intellectual property. The argument against Hex being a Ponzi scheme. I'm going to reserve judgment until I read it. He could be just dealing with FUD that surrounds Hex, right? Why does Hex feel like a Ponzi? I've got a Medium blog. I did a Medium article kind of making fun of the FUD, right? Basically, a lot of it is Hex is a cult, etc., etc. Maybe is it a Ponzi? Or even the creator of the code, Richard Hart, describes how he wanted to market it as initially as a Ponzi to stop newbie plebs actually getting involved into Ponzi's. So he wanted to create a vehicle for newbie money that would have been lost, rug pulled with bad code and bad projects to find a safe haven in Hex. And Hex has been running for over 500 days now and is proving itself on the marketplace to have value because it is the second highest DeFi product with the value of being the highest second total value locked. And stakers are locking for years and over a decade. Some people are locking up for 15 years. I have a contract that runs many contracts that run 15 years. Why? Because I understand Hex and its properties and its who created it and the auditing, etc. I did my research. I'm not a Richard Hart fanboy, even though I appreciate his work and the knowledge that he drops. I didn't go into Hex being like a fanboy and giving him all my money. Not initially. I took my time. I free claimed my Bitcoin originally, and then over the process of, I would say, 9 months, so up to last August, I was doing my research on Hex. So for me, it's been a long-term investment based on long-term decision-making and research. Do your own research. DYOR. I'm sorry, I can't speak. I'm getting too excited, maybe. Let's have a look at this report. So what does Hex feel like a Ponzi? Short-term funding market overview, the valuation methodology. So it's basically 35 pages long. 33 pages with all these disclaimers, etc. Okay, December 2019, Richard Hart launched Hex cryptocurrency on the Ethereum network via Bitcoin UTX, so unspent transaction output snapshot. Correct. Yeah, this is all correct. Yep, correct. The market value of Hex stake is determined based on the terminal locked up tokens as well as the price of Hex on maturity. Market value of Hex. Yeah, okay. Wait, let's have a look. Are these numbers correct? Hex price 017. Yep, at the time of writing. Market cap. Yep. We've been I think Hex has been as high as 12 billion, so that's correct. Rank. He's got a typo there. Nomins, supposed to be nomics. Trading volume. Yep, that seems correct. Circulating supply 90%. Yeah, I think that's correct too. He's got the website correctly identified. Correct. Yeah. Size people bigger pays better. That is correct. Longer pays better. Correct. Penalties from unstaking coins that apply to current stakers. Yeah, so if somebody makes a staking contract for, say, like 1 or 2 years and decides after a few months, he's like, I've got something better to put my money in, and then ends his contract early, he will pay a penalty for not fulfilling his contractual duties as has the contract he basically committed to the blockchain, right? The Ethereum blockchain. So all these metrics, all these contracts are shared and displayed on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, this is what gives it the trustworthiness of a real blockchain savings product. Okay. Richard Hart continues to expand adoption of Hex worldwide with his marketing and influencing efforts. I don't think Richard Hart spends a dime on his marketing efforts, so that is false. Influencing efforts, yes, he makes educational videos on YouTube, correct, and I think he continues to work on the Hex ecosystem. But is that marketing? He wants to expand adoption, of course, but he's not spending money on marketing. Hex is a social community. It's a social crypto community. A lot of the marketing and advertising and discussions about Hex occur from the community of stakers. So stakers means stakeholders, if you apply it to the old school legacy finance. So instead of having a company have a advertising budget and hire a advertising agency, It's all done by the community. Everything, pretty much. Yeah, TikTok, YouTube, flyers, whatever. It's all done by the community, not by Richard Hart. False. Richard, certificate of deposit is a short-term money market instrument. Yeah. In 2020, the short-term funding market size at approximately US $10 trillion. That's a good number to have, according to the United States financial accounts. So he's probably getting this money from data from the Fed, St. Louis Fed, which has an incredible amount of data. It's a really, really good tool if you don't know. St. Louis Fed. The standard commercial paper, CP, and certificate of deposit in the US were approximately 2.5 trillion. Commercial paper is what companies use to meet their short-term obligations, such as payroll and like paying off contractors. They don't do it with banknotes, right? They need commercial paper. I don't know if you guys know that. And during 2008, the commercial paper markets froze. So the GFC, the liquidity crunch, was real. Because I know this because the company I worked for described it. They said everything was frozen. And luckily enough, the company I was actually employed during that process, but after in 2010, I got a job for a company that was working through this crisis, and they were describing to me how bad it was. It was really bad. How am I doing on time? 11 minutes. Okay. I'm really pushing up against time here. This may be a multiple part video. I'm only on page 4. Amid economic shock in March 2020, resulting in the COVID pandemic, macroeconomic activity slowed significantly, resulting in lowered valuation of financial assets such as equities, bonds, real estate. Overall market risk appetite dropped pretty much across the board. Yeah, that's fine. Correct. It's good to people know that assets are tied to liquidity and basically fear. Fear and greed drive asset prices, right? Okay, valuation overview. In the case of most cryptocurrencies, it is difficult to use traditional equity valuation methods. Yeah, like Bitcoin. Yeah. i.e. relying on financial statements to analyze publicly traded companies. Yes, thus modification in the traditional extant or popular valuation methods are necessary. Hex utility does not come from cash flow generation, but from community participation. Stakers holding Hex in the network. Okay, that's his opinion. We have used the network value to transaction (NVT) ratio to substitute earnings in the PE ratio. He's going off track here. Because me and Wells only track the PE ratio. Why doesn't Reggie Middleton know to track the PE ratio? I track it. I keep an eye on it. We multiply the average MVT ratios. Well, okay. He's doing a Bitcoin metric to Hex. Network value to transaction. He's talking about Bitcoin transactions as in money that is being moved from one wallet to another and counting that as economic activity on the Bitcoin network. How does this apply to a staking contract when you're supposed to slow down the money flow? Okay, this is his core thesis is completely misguided. He does not understand what he's talking about. We multiply the average MVT ratios of the peer group considered with the transaction volume of Hex. Hex valuation USD as on 21st of April 2021, $100 million basically. Price per Hex, 0.002. So his guess is taking this value and divided by the number of coins in circulation. Based on the above calculation, the value estimate is to be 106 million. Okay. And that's it. That's all he's taught. His overview, valuation. That is ridiculous. This is This is like Econ 101. How am I doing on time? 15 minutes. I'm done. I don't need to read anymore. This is the opinion of a guy who got charged by the S.E.C. Like I said before at the beginning. Do your own research. I did mine. That's why I invested in Hex. Okay, people. I hope you enjoyed this one, especially to the Hexicans. And if you guys are on Twitter, read the full report yourselves. It won't take you long. Look, I did this in 5 minutes while commentating on it. Take the time, read it for yourself, and then use that to give reasoned arguments to Reggie, because he's active on Twitter. And why did he make this report? I don't know, because he used to analyze some terrible projects like Populous, which was also basically produced or created by a felon. Steve was his name, a London British dude. He created Populous, so that was a scam. Why is he trying to bring Hex into that ecosphere or that comparative? I don't understand. Okay, Populous, PayPy, and other ridiculous projects. Hex is not ridiculous. Hex has value. It has a PE ratio, which he doesn't think it has. It has income streams. It has many metrics to determine the value of the Hex network system. And if you don't believe me, go to Wells Only on YouTube. He will discuss the value proposition of Hex for hours and hours and hours if you have time to watch one of those videos. But I think he does half an hour videos as well. So yes, so there you have it. Okay, 17 minutes. I will call it. Cheers, guys. Bye.